You need to know immediately. Some truths don't knock politely before entering your life. They break down the doors of complacency, lighting fires under everything you've taken for granted. This moment, right now, is not a coincidence. The very fact that you're reading this is a spark, a divine interruption, meant to jolt you from the fog of routine. It's a wake-up call wrapped in urgency, a message your soul has been longing to hear. You need to know that time is not on your side, no matter how young or immortal you feel. The seconds you waste are not refundable. Every breath you take without purpose is a silent thief stealing your potential. Tomorrow is not promised. Delayed dreams gather dust, and chances missed today become regrets tattooed on your memory. Whatever you've been waiting for, love, healing, courage, clarity, it won't come while you sit still. You have to rise and claim it. You need to know that people change. Not always for the better, and not always when you need them to. Friends you trusted may falter. Lovers may lie. Family might not understand. But that doesn't mean your journey ends with their absence. It means it begins. Don't hand your worth to someone who drops it carelessly. Your value is not up for negotiation. It's non-refundable, non-transferable, and infinite. You need to know that your mind is both your sanctuary and your battleground. It can build empires or burn bridges, depending on how you feed it. Guard your thoughts. Challenge the ones that belittle you. Speak to yourself like you would to someone you love endlessly. Because your inner voice becomes your outer reality, and self-sabotage is the most silent of all betrayals. You need to know that healing is not linear. Some days will feel like rebirth. Others like relapse. That's normal. That's human. But quitting on yourself is never an option. Scars don't mean weakness, they mean survival. Let your pain become your power. Let your heartbreak fuel your transformation. There is strength in softness, bravery in vulnerability, and resurrection in every breakdown. You need to know that comparison is a thief and a liar. The lives you envy are curated illusions, perfectly timed filters hiding messes like yours. The only real competition is between who you were yesterday and who you're becoming today. Don't shrink your light to make someone else feel comfortable. Burn unapologetically. Shine so loudly that your soul echoes. You need to know that fear will never leave. It just changes outfits. It will dress as doubt, guilt, perfectionism, even logic. But here's the secret, you can act anyway. You can feel the fear and still leap. The bravest people aren't fearless, they're just unwilling to let fear have the final say. You owe yourself a life unchained from hesitation. You need to know that love, real love, isn't supposed to hurt. It's not supposed to make you question your worth or shrink to fit into someone's expectations. If someone truly sees you, they'll never ask you to dim your brilliance. And if they do, leave. Let go with grace, not bitterness. Love begins with how you treat yourself. That sets the standard for how others will. You need to know that dreams aren't luxury items for the lucky few. They're assignments, placed in your soul for a reason. That vision you keep seeing when your eyes close? It's not random. It's yours. But it won't come alive until you breathe life into it with discipline, with sacrifice, and with unshakable faith. You don't need approval. You need action. You need to know that the world needs what only you can give. Your voice, your story, your way of loving, laughing, breaking and building again. Don't let the noise of the world drown out your divine assignment. The moment you choose authenticity over approval is the moment you start living instead of merely existing. You need to know that rest is not weakness. Hustle culture is a lie. You don't have to destroy yourself to prove your worth. Rest is sacred. Stillness is strategy. Give yourself permission to pause. In that quiet space, answers will rise, clarity will emerge, and strength will return stronger than ever. You need to know that now is the only real thing you have. Not the past you can't change, not the future you can't control. Now. So don't wait. Say what you mean. Do what's let go of who you were to become who you were always meant to be. Because this is your moment, and you need to know that. Immediately. You need to know that silence is not always peaceful. Sometimes it's screaming. Sometimes it's the echo of unspoken truths and dreams you've buried beneath layers of fear. You've grown so used to swallowing your voice that you've forgotten how powerful it can be. But your voice matters, your truth matters. Don't let the world's noise mute your inner calling. Speak even if your voice shakes. Especially then. That's when the universe listens the loudest. You need to know that forgiveness isn't weakness, it's freedom. Not for them, but for you. Carrying bitterness is like drinking poison and hoping the other person feels it. Let go. Not because they deserve peace, but because you do. Forgiveness doesn't excuse their actions. It simply removes their control over your emotional narrative. Close the chapter, even if you never get the apology. Sometimes peace arrives through your own surrender. You need to know that perfection is a myth designed to paralyze you. The masterpiece you keep waiting to begin doesn't need to be flawless, it needs to be started. You weren't made to be immaculate.